心意可以吗？
Sister go live already.
Is it okay now? Hello everyone, let me check if you can hear me clearly. Yes or no? Sorry for being a bit late today because there's some issue with our network. Okay, so now everyone can hear me clearly, yes or no? Yes? Okay, great. Well, today actually the topic is about the number theory, and again, everyone please get ready for a piece of blank paper as well as your pencil, okay? Yeah, there are a few calculations for you today. Okay, are you ready? Okay. Well, basically today we will involve two topics. The first one is about the division involving remainder, and the second one is about the divisibility. And these two topics are quite important for the module of number theory. So here, let's start. Okay. As you can see, this is a very easy example. Teacher Lee has how many toy piggies? Quickly, everyone. Please count. How many piggies are there? Correct, there are 8, right? Okay, so if she wants to put 2 toy piggies into one bag, how many bags does she need? How many? Yeah, super easy, right? So here you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how we apply division. Well, we can use division when we try to group equally. So what is the equation? That is 8 divided by 2, then we can get 4. Well, for 8 here, try to memorize the term that is called a dividend. And for 2, we call it as the divisor. And for 4, that is for quotient. Okay? And this is the first case of division. And then, let's have a look. Now, teacher Ling has how many toy piggies here? Only 6. And if she has 2 bags, how many toy piggies can she put in one bag? So for this question, again, we can just apply division. Why? Because actually you see that we try to share something equally, right? So in this way, again, what is the equation? It should be 6 divided by 2, that is 3. So here for 6, again, that is called a dividend. For 2, that is for divisor, and for 3, it is for quotient. So here you see that this is for what we learned before, but today we are going to move on for some remainder part. Teacher Lee has 9 toy piggies now. If she can fill the bag with 4 toy piggies, how many filled bags does she have? And how many toy piggies will not be in one bag? Okay, again, very easy for you, right? Because the number is not that big. So here we have 9 divided by 4, which is 2 remainder 1. So now everyone, you see that for the first 3 parts, actually that is totally the same as the previous examples. But now we have remainder. So actually you see that what is the meaning of remainder? That is for the leftover. The objects left over that are not in a group. So for such thing, we just call it as remainder. Okay? So now following this, let's move on to the first example of today's lesson. Avril has 17 apples and she divides them equally among 3 plates. What is the largest number of apples on each plate? How many apples are left? So that is how can we turn this diagram into the equation. Well, according to the question, you will get 17 divided by 3, which is 5, remainder 2, right? So now let's have a look what is the meaning of 5. 5 means there are 5 apples on one plate. And what is the meaning of 2? 2 means there are 2 remainder. Okay, there are 2 remaining apples. So following this here, again, pay attention to the meaning of each number when it comes to division involving remainders. 5, that is for each group has 5. 2 is for the remainder part. So following this, everyone, it's your turn. Okay, let's try to do some calculation. So for the first one, the first one here you see 15 divided by 2, that is 7, remainder 1. Okay, so what about the second one? It's your turn. 53 divided by 10. Okay, what is your answer? Yeah, what is your answer? Well done. Okay, so here very easy for you. 5, remainder 3, right? Okay, and then what about the next one? 46 divided by 9. What is the answer? 46 divided by 9. Divided by 9. Okay, good. Yes, that is a 5, remainder 1, right? Okay, and then next one, what about the 22 divided by 5? 22 divided by 5? Okay, great. That is 4, remainder 2. Okay, and the next one, what about the 13 divided by 3? 13 divided by 3. Okay, good. That is 4, remainder 1. Okay, and then next one, what about the 84 divided by 9? 84 divided by 9. The answer is, yes, 9, remainder 3. Okay. So you see that this is just for the basic calculation, okay? Everyone, you should be very, very familiar with the times table, and then you can just check the leftover, okay? Remember that what is the meaning for the dividend? Actually, we introduced it before. The dividend is for the total, right? And for the divisor, it may be referred to the number of groups, may be referred to the items on each group, right? So following this, you see that what is for the leftover? For the leftover, it is for the remainder. Okay, yeah. So now let's move on to some example that is related to the application. Linda distributes some coins equally among 5 students, and each student gets 3 coins. There are 2 coins left. So how many coins does she have in total? Well, for this question, we are looking for the total, right? And then let's have a look, what can we get? Equally among 5 students. In other words, we can say that the divisor is 5. And then each student gets 3 coins. There are 2 coins left. So here, what is the meaning of the 3? 3 actually should be the quotient, right? And what about the 2? That is remainder 2. So now you see that in order to figure out the total, the dividend, what should we do? Well, here, let me show you with the pictures. If every student gets 3, every student gets 3, every student gets 3. So actually you see that altogether there should be 3 times 5, which is 15 coins, right? But now you see that for the total, you still need to consider the 2 left over. So following this, what is the total? Actually, it should be 17. This example is not that hard, but here, everyone, I want to show you the relationship between the total, remainder, and the complete groups. So here, if you want to take some notes, maybe you can just draw out the 3 circles. On the top, we put it as the total. And then for the left side, we call it as completed groups. And for the right side, we call it as remainder. So actually, you see that from this diagram, you can get the relationship between these 3 parts directly. How can we get the total? That is completed part plus remainder. Then you will get the total. And also, how can we get the remainder? That is the total minus completed groups. Then you will get remainder. Also, how can we get the completed groups? That is total minus remainder. Okay? So back to our equation. Well, usually I will suggest the students to draw a small bracket. So here you see that let's connect 5 and 3. So if you just multiply these two parts together, 5 times 3, then what are we calculating? We are calculating the number of items in completed groups, okay? Yeah, so this is the important part. Now, following this, let's have a look. Yeah, did you finish your note? Okay, if you don't want to copy, also you can just take a screenshot, okay? Yeah, can we move on? Now, let's move on to the next part. Now, it's your term, okay? For example, the first one, which number divided by 4, then you will get 7, remainder 3. Okay, think about it. How do we figure out the total? Yeah, let me show you the diagram again. How do we figure out the total? You have the answer? Okay, good. So for the completed groups, that is 4 times 7, right? 4 times 7, then you can get 28. And following this, don't forget the remainder. Okay, you must add these two bottom parts together, then you will get the total. So 28 plus 3, the answer is 31. Okay, then for the next one, which number divided by 7 equals to 8 remainder 3? Again, what is the total? What is the dividend? Got the answer? Wow, excellent, good job. So again, how do we figure out the groups part? That is 7 times 8, right? 7 times 8, then you get 56. And following this, plus 3, then you will get 59. Yes. Now, is it very clear for you? Okay, good. Then next one, if I just move my blank. Now you see, 30 divided by something equals to 4 remainder 2. 25 divided by something, that is 6 remainder 1. Again, now everyone, you see, we can find the dividend, right? That is the total. If 30 is the total, and then we know that the remainder is 2. So how can we figure out the value of the completed groups? Yes. So for the missing number and the 4, if you multiply them together, so actually you will get 28, right? So in this way, could you please tell me what is the divisor here? What is the divisor? Yeah, in other words, that is 4 times something equals to 28. So what is something? Excellent, that is 7. Okay. Now, following the same matter, now it's your turn. For the second one, you see 25 divided by something equals to 6, remainder 1. Again, we know the total, we know the remainder. So how can we calculate the value of completed groups? It's your turn now. Okay, try. Excellent. Okay, so you see that is 4. Again, also you can double check. Okay, 4 times 6, that is 24. 24 plus remainder 1. So here we have 25, which means our answer is correct. Okay. Now, another example. Okay, so this is about the real application. There are 37 wheels in the factory and it makes 4 wheels to assemble 1 car. So how many cars can be assembled at most? Okay, here everyone, I give you 20 seconds. Have a try. Got the answer? Okay, good job. So here you see we can just group these wheels 4 by 4, 4 by 4, okay? So following this, oh, I see. Some students says 9, some students said 10. Okay, so here let's have a look. Okay, I know that everyone should be able to figure out the equation, right? It should be 37 divided by 4. The answer is 9 remainder 1. But what about the final answer? Is it 9 or is it 10? 9 or 10? Okay, pay attention. It should be 9, okay? 1. Because actually you see that after you make 9 cars, so actually in the end, there's only 1 wheel. Can you just make 1 car with 1 wheel? No. Why? Because according to the question, it takes 4 wheels to assemble 1 car, okay? So that is why the final answer is just a 9. Yeah, you don't need to plus 1. And also here I want to show you, if the question is talking about the materials, So actually for the extra part, for the leftover, you can just ignore it. Okay? Materials, we ignore the remainder. But what about if I change the question a bit? Now you see, 36 people go boating with a maximum of 5 people in each boat. So they need at least how many boats to get everyone on board at the same time? Again, have a try. Yes, I already showed you the picture here. Okay, have a try. You need to make sure that everyone on board, okay? Everyone on board. Good. So again, here, let me show you. I put some votes for these people. And then what about the last one? Can we just say bye-bye to him? Cannot, right? So here, you need to make sure that he is on board as well. So following this, actually, we have 36 divided by 5. Then you will get a remainder. But what happened to the remainder? You must get one vote for the remainder as well. So this is for the second part, when the question is talking about the capacity. So here, what should we do? Yes, we just plus 1, okay? Yeah, when it comes to the materials, you can just ignore the remainder. But this is for capacity, so here, don't forget the last person, okay? Yeah, good. So following this, now let's move on to a question which is a bit more complicated. Lucy makes 59 cookies, and she wants to put them into boxes. Each big box can contain 6 cookies at most, and each small box can contain 2 cookies at most. She puts cookies in big boxes first, and then put those that cannot fill up a big box into small boxes. So, how many big boxes and how many small boxes does Lucy need to prepare? Again, for this question, I give you 20 seconds first, okay? Everyone, please take out your piece of paper, try to do some calculation, okay? Don't just think everything in your mind. Got the answer? Okay, let me check. Okay, some students said the big one is 9, the small one is 2. Okay, I see different answer, big 9, small 3. Okay, what about the other students? 9, 2. 9, 2. Or 9, 3? Okay, read the question carefully. 9, 2 or 9, 3? Okay, let me show you. Okay, yeah, the first step, that is 59 divided by 6, right? 59 divided by 6, then you will get 9 and remainder 5. Okay, again, what is the meaning of 9? 9 means that there are 9 big boxes, right? And then, what about the 5? For 5, actually it refers to those cannot fill up a big box. So what should we do? For these 5 remaining cookies, we need to turn them into small boxes. So following this, we have 5 divided by 2, which is 2, remainder 1. Again, everyone, you see that what is the meaning of 2? That's it only for 2 small boxes? Then what about the last one? You still have 1 remaining cookie, right? So what should we do? You need to make sure that for every cookie, you can put them into boxes. So how many small boxes do we need? Correct. It should be 3 small boxes, okay? So you see that 9, 3, it should be the correct answer. Okay, be careful, be careful. So you see that you should be very clear of what is the meaning of each number. Okay, so here for 5 and 1, actually they refer to the number of remaining cookies. But for 9, that is for the big boxes, and 2 is only for the small boxes. And altogether, we need 3 small boxes. Cannot just throw away the last one, okay? Then for the next part here, I'd like to introduce a new concept. But I know that many students are quite familiar with this part as well. So here you see, for every 4 strawberries, we can put them on a plate. So here, we can turn such process into the equation, that is 4 divided by 4 equals to 1. And what about now I have 5 strawberries, so now I can get 5 divided by 4, that is 1, remainder 1, right? And following this, what about if I have 6 strawberries? Now we can get 6 divided by 4, which is 1 remainder 2. And next one we have 1 remainder 3. Then what about 8 divided by 4? Can we just write it as 1 remainder 4? Am I correct? Yes or no? Can we say that 8 divided by 4, that is 1 remainder 4? Cannot. Why? Why? Yeah, what is 8 divided by 4? Okay, good. So actually you see that 8 divided by 4, that is 2, okay? So from this example, actually I'd like to stress what is the relationship between the remainder and divisor. So you can see that the remainder must be smaller than divisor, okay? So following this, let's move on to a real question. Last time I said this question as one of your mock test papers. So here let's have a look. Let's try to do it again. In a division problem, the quotient is 16 and the remainder is 7. So what is the smallest possible value for the dividend? Again, we are looking for the total. Well, so actually the question is asking you what is the smallest possible value for the total. Okay, have a try. Think about it. Just now, I showed you what's the relationship between the value of divisor and the value of the remainder. Think about it. You need to make sure that the total is as small as possible, right? So in other words, that is, you need to make sure that the divisor is as small as possible. So what is the smallest possible value of the divisor? Think about it. No. Okay, good. So here, everyone, you see the remainder is already 7. So which number is just a bit more than 7? Oh, don't tell me 7.5. Okay, make sure that it is a whole number. So here, which number is a bit bigger than 7? That is 8, right? So here we can get actually the smallest possible value for the divisor. It should be 8. And then following this, how do we find the total? Do you still remember the 3 circles? Okay, that is 8 times 16. Then, following this, what should we do? You need to add remainder. Okay, good job. So you can see that this is the answer. Okay, the answer is 135. Okay, 135. Yeah. Any question? Is it hard? Should be okay. So this is answer 135. Okay. Always remember that divisor must be bigger than the remainder. Okay. They cannot be equal, right? Remember, 8 divided by 4, you cannot write it as 1 remainder 4, right? So you must write it as 8 divided by 4, which is 2. Okay. So next one, this is also another challenge question. Zoe writes a division equation as shown below. The number the star represents is larger than 0. List all the possible numbers that the moon and the star can be. Okay, so here everyone, again, I give you some time, have a try by yourself. Okay, what is the possible value of the star and what is the possible value of the moon? Okay, have a try. Yes, again, pay attention to the divisor here, okay? If the divisor is 3, so what is the value of the star? Hello, Ali. Okay, everyone got the answer? Not very hard, right? Okay. So firstly, could you please tell me what are the possible values for the star? What is the possible value? Now you see the divisor is already 3, right? And then the star cannot be bigger or equal to 3. So what is the possible value? Maybe 1, maybe 2. Okay, good job. So following this, let's just check one by one. If the star equals to 1, then we can get 3 times 7, which is 21. 21 plus 1, then the moon is 22. And what about if the star equals to 2? Then 3 times 7, 21. 21 plus 2, you will get 23, okay? Yeah. So actually you see that we only have 2 possible values for the moon and for the star. Easy? Okay. So this is the key point, that is the remainder must be smaller than divisor, okay? Yeah. So here let's have a quick summary of the first part, okay? So here you see the meaning of division with remainder. That is when we try to share equally or group equally. So if there is leftover, we call the leftover as remainder. And usually we write it as a capital R followed by R, that is the leftover. Then when we try to figure out the dividend, what should we do? That is, firstly, we just multiply the quotient by the divisor, just like the small rainbow show you, and then plus remainder. So actually here, everyone, you just memorize these 3 circles in your mind, okay? And how do we figure out the divisor? That is the dividend minus remainder first. You find the exact number for the completed groups. Then following this, just divide it by quotient, okay? Yeah, R. R means remainder, okay? Capital R means remainder. And please remember that the divisor is always greater than the remainder, okay? Now following this, let's move on to the second part, okay? The second part is for the divisibility. And again, I think this topic is not quite new to you. So here, let me just introduce the concept very fast. Divisibility refers to the capacity of a number to be evenly divided without remainder. Okay, I'm sure you're quite familiar with remainder now, right? So for example, 18 divided by 3, the quotient is 6. So we can say 18 is divisible by 3. And then 18 divided by 4, you will get 4 remainder 2. So in other words, we can say 18 is not divisible by 4. Okay? So here, let's move on to some divisibility rule. So for the first one, everyone have a try. If I have 114 candies, oh sorry, it should be DIES. Okay. If I have 114 candies, so could you please tell me if 114 is divisible by 4? Yes or no? Is it divisible by 4? Okay, maybe some of you are doing the vertical calculation, right? Some of you are using the calculator, right? Or are you asking your daddy or mommy? Okay, so 114, let's have a look, okay? Let me show you. If I try to group these candies 4 by 4, then you will see that on the left side, for this 100 candies, we can make sure they are divisible by 4, right? So actually, we only need to check the rest part. Now, we still have 14 candies on the right side. Now, 14, is it divisible by 4? No. So in this way, we know that 114 is not divisible by 4. Okay? Yeah, we only need to check the right part. And then following this, another example for you. Now, if I have 136 candies, is it divisible by 4 now? Okay, have a try. 136, is it divisible by 4? Yes or no? Still no? Maybe? Are you sure? What is maybe? Yes, okay. Now again, let me show you. You can see that 136 divided by 4, actually the logic is still the same. So for 100, as long as you get 100, we can make sure that 100 is divisible by 4. So what do? We only need to check the rest part, right? So here, 36, is it divisible by 4? Yes, which means 136 is divisible by 4, okay? So actually, you see, this is the divisibility rule of 4. You only need to check the last 2 digits, okay? Yeah, also here, let me show you what about if the number is even bigger. For 232, is it divisible by 4? Yes or no? Okay, good. Well, just now I already told you, as long as you see 100, you can make sure 100 is divisible by 4, right? So here, 100, yes. 100, yes. Then we only need to check the last part. So for the last part, there are only 32 candies, right? So for 32, you see again, the last 2 digits, and 32 is divisible by 4, which means the number 232 is divisible by 4 as well. Yeah, okay. So actually here you see 4 is a special number, and also its good friend 25, it is also a special number. So here, if I just show you, I have 175 candies. Could you please tell me, is 175 divisible by 25? Yeah. Ali should be learned before. Okay, good. So here you can see that we have 25, 25, 25, right? So actually, again, you will see that how do we split the number? How do we split the number? Oh, sorry. Yeah, when we try to split the number, you can see that for 175, we just split it into, again, the left side, it should be 100, right? And then for the right side, we can just split it into 75. So actually here, 100, it must be divisible by 25. So we only need to check 75, also the last 2 digits, yeah. Okay, and next one, what about the 255? Is it divisible by 25? Yes or no? Is it divisible by 25? Okay, again, you see, we have 100, then we have 200, then we still have 55, right? So here I'm going to just check for the last 55 candies. Are they divisible by 25? Of course no, right? So again, you see that for this part, how do we split the number? That is here, we have 200. 200, of course, it is divisible by 25. And then we just check the rest part, 55. So for 55, since it is not divisible by 25, which means actually the final answer, 255, is also not. Okay? Yeah. So here, let's have a quick summary. Well, basically, when it comes to divisibility of 2, 5, 4, 25, 8, 125, here, we can just regard them as 3 pairs of good friends in multiplication. Well, you see, 2 times 5, it is 10. So actually, for the divisibility of 2, you only need to check the last 1 digit, right? Like the 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. I think you are quite familiar with it. And then, for the divisibility of 5, also we just check the last digit. It may be 0 or 5 only. And following these 4 and 25, they are also a pair of good friends. Because 4 times 25 is 100. 100, you see that there are 2 zeros, right? So actually here, when it comes to a big number, you only need to check the last 2 digits. If the number forming by the last 2 digits is divisible by 4 or 25. Then following this, we also have 8 and 125. You can see 8 times 125, that is 1,000. So here, 1,000, it has 3 digit zeros. So here, when it comes to the divisibility rule, we only need to check the last 3 digits. Okay? Yes. Okay, everyone, this is your screenshot time. Okay, I give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's move on. Okay? So following this, it's your turn. Tell me. Well, this is a big number. 7,132. Is it divisible by 4? Yes or no? Think about it, divisible by 4, what should we do? Do we need to do the vertical calculation? Like 7 divided by 4, then 1, and then bring down. Yes or no? Yes, okay, so here you see that we just check the last two, right? So here, good. The first one is yes. 32 is divisible by 4. For all the rest of the part, actually, that is we have 71 hundredths, right? 71 hundredths, of course, they're divisible by 4. Then next one, is it divisible by 8? 8. Is it divisible by 8? Do you still remember? What is the divisibility rule of 8? What is it? Check the last 3. Check the last 3, pay attention. You must check 132. For 132, is it divisible by 8? No. Okay, so here, no. Pay attention again. I know that actually this is a very common mistake. When it comes to divisibility rule of 4, you just check the last 2 digits. But when it comes to 8, you must check the last 3 digits. Remember? 8 and 125. 8 times 125, you will get 1,000. 1,000 has 3 zeros. Yes, you just check the last 3. Yeah, if you don't believe, you can just calculate by yourself. Okay, try. Then next one, is the number 4,375 divisible by 25? Yes or no? Okay, 25, pay attention, 25. What should we check? Yes, just check the last 2. Okay, think about it. For 75, is it divisible by 25? Yes, okay, good job. Then next one again. Now the number is 125. Is the number divisible by 125? Of course, it is real. I don't lie to you, okay? What about 125? Good. We need to check 375. Okay, pay attention. That is the last 3 digits. Okay, so here again, it is yes. Understand now? Okay, good. So following this, let's move on. Here, another rule that is for the divisibility of 3 and 9. Well, when it comes to 3 and 9, we always check if the digit sum is divisible by 3 or 9. But here, actually, there is a very important conclusion. That is, if a number is divisible by 9, it must be divisible by 3 as well. Because you can see that 9 is just a multiple of 3, right? But if a number is divisible by 3, it may be not divisible by 9. For example, 12 is divisible by 3, but it is not divisible by 9, right? So following this, let's check. So we just test the following numbers for divisibility by 3 or by 9. So for the first one, 312. Here you see that the digit sum is 6, right? Digit 3 plus digit 1 plus digit 2, you can get 6. So you can see 6 is divisible by 3, but it is not divisible by 9. Okay? So that means the number 312, it is divisible by 3, but it is not divisible by 9. Okay? Pay attention. Now for the second one, what is the digit sum of 443? Quickly, it's your turn. 443. What is it? Wow, this is a P1 question actually. 443. What is 4 plus 4 plus 3? Correct. It is 11. So now let's have a look. Is it 11 divided by 3? No. Okay. Is 11 divided by 9? No. Okay. So yeah. Double Q. Next one, what about the 5,567? Okay, so what is the digit sum? Quickly, everyone, try it by yourself. 5,567. What is the 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7? Okay, good job. That is 23, right? Yes, excellent. So here again, no and no. Okay. Then the last one, 4,818. What is the digit sum? Quickly have a try. 4,818. Okay, good. 21. Okay, so here let's check for 21. 21 is divisible by 3, right? But it is not divisible by 9. Okay, good. So again, you can see that for some numbers, even they are divisible by 3, they may be not divisible by 9. Okay? Good job. Okay, next one. Oh, by the way, here, firstly, let me introduce what is the name of this short line. So actually, in the future, when you see the short line above some letters or digits, actually it means this is a whole part. So for example here, for 45,670 M, actually this is a 5-digit number. Since it is a 5-digit number, that means letter M, it must be a 1-digit number. Okay, it must be a single digit. So now let's have a check. If now I know that this 5-digit number is divisible by 3, so what is the possible values of M? Any idea? That is, if the number is divisible by 3, you must check the digit sum, right? So for the digit sum, it is 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus M. Here we try to combine, what can we figure out? Okay, 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, you will get 22. So now, the digit sum is 22 plus M. Then everyone think about it. What is the closest number that can be divisible by 3? Yeah, you need to make sure that it is more than 22, right? So what is the closest number? Wow, excellent, Francis. Okay, good. So you see that it should be 24, excellent. And how can we get 24? We just plus 2, okay? And after 24, what is the next number that is divisible by 3? What is the next one? The next one is 27, correct? So following this, actually there is a pattern. Can you find it? There's a pattern. Yeah, the pattern is we always add another 3 to get the next possible value of M, right? So following this, you see that we can get 30 when the value of M is 8. But can we still move on? Okay, so here, 8 plus 3 equals to 11. Am I correct? Cannot. Why? Yes, because of the short line. Okay, what is the meaning of short line? That means letter M must be a single digit. Okay, so here, the final answer, that is 2, 5, and 8. Easy? Okay. So next one, it's your turn. Okay? Yeah, it's your turn. For this question, maybe I give you 30 seconds. Okay, take out your pencil and paper. Quickly do some calculation. A 4-digit number, 3,881, 3,881 is divisible by 3. Find all the possible values of A quickly. Quickly. Yeah, let me check how many of you can figure out all the possible values. Pay attention, more than one. Oh, so fast? Only one answer? Are you sure? Can you find more? Oh, so many. Oh, suddenly, some students got 1, some students got 4, some students got 7. Okay. Okay, some students got 6. Can you find more? Some students, I don't know. Okay. Now again, let's have a look. Now we know that this is a 4-digit number, right? Divisible by 3. Divisible by 3, which means we need to check the digit sum. So what is the digit sum now? It is 3 plus A plus A plus 1, right? So altogether, it should be 4 plus A plus A. Pay attention, you must add A for twice. Now, following this, of course, you can just check one by one, right? So here again, 4 plus 1 plus 1. Then you can get 6, right? And then 6 is divisible by 3, which means 1 is the correct answer. Then following this, 4 plus 4 plus 4, you will get 12. Okay, 12 is also divisible by 3. So A could be equal to 4. Then following this, also you can see that 4 plus 7 plus 7, that is 18. 18 is divisible by 3 as well. So 7 is also a possible value. So actually you see that we have 3 possible values. 1, and then 4, and then 7, okay? Because the question is asking you what is the possible values of A. For A, that is 147, okay? Yeah, so the final answer is 147. The final answer is not 6. 6 is just the digit sum, okay? Yeah, any question now? Well, by the way, I think for these 2 questions, you may get some conclusions. So when it comes to such question, to figure out the missing, to find the value of the missing box or the letter, so usually we have 2 groups. One group is called 147. The other group is called 258. Okay, so here we always plot 3, plot 3, plot 3. Okay, because the question is divisible by 3. Okay, next one. I think this is the last one. Let me check out. Yeah, okay, the last one. Now, the possible values of the number 5 something, 3, 4 something, so that it is divisible by 5 and by 9. Okay, by 5 and by 9. Okay, can. Okay, have a break. Divisible by 5 and by 9. So what do we do? Okay, good. Think about it. Which one is easier to start? Do you prefer the divisibility of 5 or do you prefer the divisibility of 9? Which one is easier? Okay, good. 5. Why? Because actually, for the divisibility of 5, we only need to check the last digit, right? So for the last digit, pay attention. We only have 2 choices. When a number is divisible by 5, the last digit is either 0 or 5. So now, let's check one by one. Here you need to consider different cases. But for the first one, that is, if the last digit is 0, then the number should be like 5 something 3 4 0. Then you can check the digit sum. So what is the digit sum? That is 12 plus the box, right? Now you see. In order to make sure the number is divisible by 9, that is the digit sum must be divisible by 9, right? So 12 plus something, think about it, what is the smallest number that is divisible by 9 here? 18, good job. So in this way, we can get 12 plus 6, that is 18. So what is the number? That is 56,340, okay? Yes, some students may say that, okay, why cannot we just plus another 9? So here you will get 15. Is it possible to get 15? Think about it. Cannot. Why? Because again, there's a short line. Can you see that? That means for the missing part, actually it must be a single digit. Okay? Must be a single digit. Yeah. But you see that this is only for one case. If the last digit is 0, what is another case? For another case, that is, the last digit should be 5, right? So if the last digit is 5, then you can see that what is the number? The number is 5 something 3 4 5, which means the digit sum is 17 plus the box. Again, everyone, could you please tell me what is the number in the second case? What is the number? What is the number here? 17 plus something. Again, you need to make sure that the sum is divisible by 9. Yeah, what is it? Quickly, I'm waiting for your final answer. 3. Are you sure is it 3? No. What is the method? Excellent, good job. So here you see that it should be 1, okay? So here again, the constant number that is divisible by 9 is still 18, right? But this time, you don't need to add 6 again. You just plus 1. And what is the number? That is 51,345. So here actually you see that we have 2 possible answers. Yes. Is it hard for you? Okay, yeah. By the way, I'd like to introduce, sometimes the question may just ask you, okay, so how can you make sure that the number is divisible by 45? So what should we do? How can we check how the number is divisible by 45? So actually that is the same as it is divisible by 5 and 9, okay? So you try to split the number and find what? Find the factors, okay? Then you check the divisibility one by one. Is it easy? Okay, good. So actually for the homework today, also I picked some questions for you to practice, okay? By the way, I'd also like to introduce the next round of our short-term course. As you can see that now, actually this is the 5th lesson for our online intensive training. And on this Friday, Teacher Miu will give you a whole revision part, okay? And after this, actually we will have both online and in-person short-term course to practice your speed. As you know that you must finish like at least 40 questions, maybe up to 50 questions within 75 minutes in the first round of GEP. So here actually we have another round of the short-term course, as you can see that here, that is called the GEP Math Speed Booster Camp. And we have the online class that is from 11th July to the 1st August, and the timing is from 4 to 6 p.m. on every Friday. And also we have the offline class that is at the Tyson Center. The date is from 12th July to 2nd August, and the timing is from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. on every Saturday. So later, actually after the class, Teacher Miu and I will share the link in our preparation group for you to register, okay? So do remember to finish your homework again, okay? And ready for the final revision, okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye.